Alright guys, coming up in today's video, we're talking about the $37 billion that potentially foreign buyers own in the Toronto market. Stay tuned. Alright, Michael James back here guys, and like I said, in today's video we're talking about potentially the $37 billion that might be owned by foreign buyers. Now, StatsCan just released some new information regarding non-residents. So let's define this at first. Non-residents is anyone that obviously for this case owns real estate but does not have their permanent residence here. So it could be elsewhere in the world, which foreign buyers would fall into that category. Now, the numbers in the Toronto market which StatsCan released is right now non-residents own 57,946 homes. Now this is out of the 1.7 million, give or take, we'll put up the numbers, which accounts for 3.4%. That's in the, Toronto CMA. Now, breaking down, going further, another interesting stat was when we look at just newer homes from 2006 and on, 758 out of the 11,739 properties are owned by non-residents. So that's 6.45%. So the number becomes much higher. Now, when you break down Toronto, the city of Toronto specifically, the numbers even jump even more. And this is obvious for at some point, when you're buying, you kind of want to be more closer to the core if you're looking for more investment or as a non-resident, especially when I buy markets, I'm looking more for the core versus like in the outer range. Now, in Toronto, 36,623 homes out of the 753,000 are owned by non-residents. Now, this is a 4.8% jump. I say now when we look at newer homes after 2016, it jumps even more. So 552 properties out of the 5,245 homes is owned by non-residents. Now that's a 10.5% ownership. So that's a staggering high number. Now the value of all these homes is $37 billion, just a little bit over. But it's only out of the 1.2 trillion. So that's the value is 3%. Now that's not 3% of what homes were bought last year. That's just the actual value we're talking about. So the narrative where I'm going with this is, now this is what everything StatsCan's claiming. So you got to look at, first of all, if they're claiming just say 5% or 3.4, we'll say in the Toronto market as a whole, that number is obviously higher because at some point, this is everything that's once it's registered with the registry office. So anytime property closes and it gets registered, this is a stat that you can pull, right? So everyone who's analytical can actually review this stuff. Now, if they're catching 3.4% on the contracts or the names, you can imagine that if all of a sudden they have family here and they use one of their family members' names to hold the real estate, well, that would, like I said, that would not count as a non-resident. Now, so that number is obviously much higher. Well, let's just assume that. Now, for foreign buyers, to me, where I see a lot of the more ownership going towards is new construction, right? It already shows in the trends that it's trending more on newer stuff. But having said that, new construction, condos, pre-construction, all those things that were, to me, it makes more sense as a foreign buyer to put money, because you're carrying paper. It's less maintenance and all that. You're holding on to paper, and then potentially in a couple months you're reselling it. To me, that's the bigger pull. Now, when you're buying new construction, they're not registering anything until the property's 100% done and it's closed. At that point, a lot of investors obviously buy, hang on, and then they flip the contract. So at that point, it's not closing, but still a way to make money. That's where I see where it makes more sense for foreign buyers to put their money in. To me, buying a house and having it sit there and do nothing or to rent and take a hit. Obviously, some of these countries and foreign buyers, obviously, that have a lot of money, they don't mind taking a negative cash flow if appreciation is bigger. But I just see the bigger draw is definitely in pre-construction when it comes, whether it be homes or anything. So that's kind of, the narrative of this. To me, it's very interesting. At the end of the day, it's like what Toronto Board's saying and everyone's saying, that foreign buyers are not as big as they think they are in this market, which to me, when they start pulling back and taxing all this stuff, it's really nothing, like it's not really affecting the market. What it does, though, it affects the market in terms of it slows it down because people anticipate the market to crash, and what they do, they wait, then the market slows for a couple months, and then when everyone realizes that it's not a big deal, the market continues to go up. So to me, I'm not really big on just regulations on this part, because they should never dropped it. They didn't have enough information to say that foreign buyers were such a big issue here, especially in Toronto. Vancouver might be a different story, but like I said, as for Toronto, I don't see it. Like, comment, share, definitely subscribe to the channel if you do like the content. We try to drop stuff, every other day or whatnot, anytime there's good news. And also, we have a new Facebook group, which is Live Toronto Real Estate, where we cover live events on a weekly. Check it out. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you on the next video.